bring you up to date on that breaking news that we've been following from overnight. We know that 2 officers have been shot and killed. There's a third that was seriously injured that's in the hospital this morning after a shooting in Bristol.
So let's get out to Channel 3 Eyewitnesses reporter Marcy Jones. She's live outside of Bristol Health. Good morning, Marcy. What are you learning there on the scene?
Good morning. Well, as you know, the investigation is ongoing, but I think the gravity of the situation is really starting to settle in and seep into the minds and hearts of everybody who's out here. This is a massive first responders and law enforcement presence. We've got more than 100 cruisers out here that is wrapped around the entire Bristol Health Hospital. 2 lives have been senselessly taken this morning. Of course, our hearts are with the victims and families and their colleagues. We know that law enforcement and first responders are really a family. It is a part of the job, of course, to risk their own safety to protect and serve the community. But this appears at this time to be an attack on these officers of some kind, premeditated or not. This is a despicable act of violence. Now, even a mother of a Connecticut police officer tweeted at me just a little bit ago, essentially saying that this is just so devastating because it's such a reminder of how things can escalate so quickly in a matter of seconds, and lives can be taken way too soon. We've seen tears out here, hugs, officers leaning on each other for support as they eagerly await, hopefully, some good news about the sole surviving third officer. Right now, we do not know anything about their condition. We just know it's serious enough to have them in a hospital right now. But this is very raw, very emotional, and we are all waiting and hoping for some good news out here. But for now, that is the latest. Reporting live in Marcy Jones, 3.
Thank you. In the way that was update there with Mark at Bristol Health. Take a look at the scene earlier this morning. It's this Hartford Hospital. So we know plenty. Although it's clear the officer may have been transported there. We'll continue to work with officials, though, to gather the information. And that team coverage continues in the wake of those 2 officers shot and killed in the line of duty, and that 1 officer in the hospital with serious wounds.
We want to get to our law enforcement expert, retired State Police Lieutenant J. Paul Vance, who is joining us on Zoom this morning. We appreciate you being with us here throughout the morning, updating us. The gravity of this situation is certainly starting to set in. Tell us a little bit about where the investigation goes from here.
Well, this is going to be a very extensive investigation, and there are many reasons for that. It's not simply gathering the information at the scene, but analyzing everything. It's having the front laboratory do analysis of any weapons.
She's finishing it.
What's breakfast?
She had some last night, and then she's finishing the rest of the day.
Was it good?
Oh.
I actually liked it mixed together.
That's what she did.
That's what I did too.
Well,
I made them.
Actually, that's what I did for her.
Oh, I mixed them together.
Decide to get
Come on, James, we gotta go get dressed.
Oh, the calendar.
The game change.
Suspects or what led up to it. Is there a reason why we haven't heard that information yet?
I think that's a great question, and certainly we want to make sure that the information that goes out is 100% accurate. And I'm sure the state police investigators are determining what the reason was for the initial call, how that call came in, what information the dispatcher or law enforcement and law enforcement officers have responded to the scene. So that's just a very basic and basis of the initial part of the investigation. But this is going to take some significant amount of time to, in fact, answer those questions. It's also important to note that as you reported, there's a great deal of law enforcement response to the hospitals. And certainly I would expect that the law enforcement officers from all the agencies across the state, as well as fire service and EMS personnel, are going to escort the deceased remains of the officers to the Chief State Medical Examiner's office for the autopsy. But certainly we would ask everyone to come together and thoughts and prayers for the family of the deceased officers.
And Lieutenant, question: can you think of officers shot in Connecticut in one scene?
You're right, Wendell. Certainly I cannot, my 43 years of experience with the Connecticut State Police, recall that where multiple officers in had one incident. It's certainly a tragedy that the Bristol Department response area response that is suffering from this. Our hopes and prayers are for the officer and I'm sure all law enforcement in Connecticut will come together in this tragedy.
All right, Lieutenant Paul Vance, we appreciate your time this morning. We'll be checking in with you, I'm sure, throughout the day as some more details unfold on this heartbreaking situation. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
6:48. Let's get a check of that forecast. We are in early morning weather alert mode. Good morning. Let's take a look. We are expecting the worst of the action between about 6 p.m. and 2 a.m. very early tomorrow morning. Heavy rain, strong gusty wind, or drainage flow down trees or upon, maybe even come probably from the tree, and that wind picks it up and just carries it away. So there could be down trees with these gusts in excess of 35 to 40 miles an hour. Just this morning, it's not a deal, but I do want to bring it to your attention. Some of the roads are wet out. A little bit of fog. It's not too substantial. Look at the rate. There is more scattered shower activity. I'm hoping this rides to the north of us, so we get a little bit of a reprieve for our morning ride, but we might just get clipped. Let me widen out the shot and show you this frontal boundary. You can see it draped back to the north and west, south and west of Connecticut. We've got all of this rain that's going to be marching into Connecticut throughout the day today. It'll be here by this afternoon, through this evening, and into tonight, and it's very early tomorrow morning. 57 degrees. We are starting to see a little break in the action out there. You might see a little bit of sunshine this morning, but then mostly cloudy skies take over. 66 amazing degrees in New Haven. You don't need a jacket there, that's for sure. Mostly overcast conditions with fog in Torrington. Good morning to you. And a dramatic skyline in Waterbury, where it's 61 degrees. Amazing. Temperatures are incredibly mild. We are up anywhere from 9 to 15 to 22 degrees warmer than 24 hours ago. The winds are out of the southeast this morning. That's the direction they'll be through the day, and they'll be picking up. Early morning future camp today should now by picking up showers of North Field and Fairfield. Can justify rain at times.
What?
Tonight, just through one, and then right around 2 a.m. we start to see a little bit of a reprieve.
Yeah.
And then
Well, no, I was talking.
Clear skies, and tomorrow looks acceptable. Much rain expect anywhere from 2 for northwest, southwest. The bulls up right over south. London, Holland, Middlesex County, 2.5 plus. Maybe 4 inches of rain, not out of the realm of enough. And also, you got to pretend this. Right, our clouds are with us. Maybe a little partial morning, but the clouds take over. Again, at 2 o'clock, we start to see those showers. More of the same for the immediate shoreline. Those showers start developing by noon. Just top in the upper 60s today. Here's the once again the satellite and radar. Just want to confirm for you all of this moisture to make its way through Connecticut with this intense cold front. Day 60s. Your 7-day forecast includes better weather tomorrow, and we're talking about a pretty good weekend. Saturday's great. Sunday a little bit of cloud. Saturday, some nothing, just for a shower or two on Sunday. On Tuesday, a better chance for showers as a and then much cooler weather for Tuesday and for Wednesday. All right, Francis Gallo is 80 today. Domingo Ava D'Amico is 11. Anna Alston, 76. Sandy and Tony Olson, 50 years of marital bliss. Denise and Ted Cole, 21 years. And Richard and Dana Piassi, 37 years. Hope you all. Kate, we'll speak to you.
All right, Scott, thank you. We'll give you our drive times here on this morning, 6:52. Waterbury to Hartford in the green this morning. We are starting to see some delays build in Hartford, 84. Some congestion there between exit 48 and 51 on the side of the highway. Elsewhere, we're looking really good. This is 95 by Goose Lane. If you're traveling along the shoreline, there are no problems to report. Here's 91 by Trumbull Street. I'm Caitlin Newclough. That's your Connecticut Chevy Pinpoint Traffic Report, driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers. We're back right after this with another update on that scene in Bristol.
Are you ready to rock and roll? I am ready.
Whether it's Saturday,
Welcome, everyone.
Sunday, or every weekday, there's always something new under the sun.